Hello everyone, Simon here with a review and a playthrough actually of Linda and Joan Prologue 4 months earlier. Linda and Joan Prologue is a standalone 15 to 20ish minute short narrative experience. It's got multiple endings and plenty of replayability, but it's primarily there to set up the situation and the scenario and the tone, I guess, for the main Linda and Joan game that's coming out in 2022. It's available on PC, and everything is in the choose your own adventure style genre, but I feel like using that as the genre is highly inappropriate, considering that this is a game that is all about human emotions, dealing with situations that are going to be horrific, but you cannot stop them. But it's about damage limitation, soothing, being open and honest in a conversation, or choosing to hide your emotions and to avoid something because you don't want to go there. And that's a perfectly valid choice for people too. But what Linda and Joan Prologue, and what I suspect the main game will go much further into detail on, is the consequences and the outpourings of all of that as you go through, frankly, a year of hell. This reminds me very much of games such as That Dragon Cancer, where it's going to be a horrific situation, it's going to make you think, but this is much more grounded in conversations and human emotions rather than something being more abstract, and that's why I connected with Linda and Joan Prologue really well. There's a couple of interesting game mechanics that I wanted to talk about with this that kind of made me go, oh okay, and made me think more. With Linda and Joan, you're also playing as Russell, the son. Now, Linda's Russell's mum, Joan is Russell's nan, and Linda has come to visit Russell on holiday in LA, and they're walking up a trail. The first thing that kind of made me stand out with it all, with this game, is that you play primarily as Russell, but you are making dialogue decisions, not just as Russell, but as Linda. And it was really interesting for me to not just see a choose-your-own-adventure style game where choices matter through a single lens, and that actually you can veer a conversation off with two people either choosing to be present and talk open and honestly about how they're feeling and the emotions and not sugarcoat something. Or you could have both people just go into avoidance and the conversation becomes an awkward avoidance tactic, which for many, many people is a perfectly valid way of getting through and coping. But it doesn't necessarily mean that anyone feels connected to anything anymore because you're all isolated and alone. Similarly, you could have Linda just giving it everything about how unwell she is, but have Russell not say anything. Or Russell go digging, and you can then play as Linda just going, I'm fine, and just like looking on the bright side of things. Ultimately, there's probably a balance between the whole four angles there that probably works out as the most naturalistic and best route in. But it is up to you to see from all lenses how you can change that conversation. And I found that really refreshing. And it made me think about my choices more as to what type of person each character was and the type of trust, I guess, that they had in each other. The other mechanic, which I found was interesting because you have to juggle a conversation alongside this, is that you're walking up a trail in this experience and you're asked to, with your mouse, basically click on a piece of the trail and then let go at a certain like key marker, a little bit like a rhythm game, but not really. And that's to match Joan's pace, because if you make her feel hurried up or walk too fast, or if you take too long getting up the hill, she gets knackered because she's not very well and she's got like a stamina bar, as does Russell, to be fair. And it was interesting to see the visual of Linda's stamina going down quicker than what Russell's was. It's another kind of visual UI clue to show that she's not well. It's really well thought out, but you're having to juggle that and match the pace versus the conversation. But equally, you could choose to be in a strop and just zoom off ahead and miss half the conversation because you're out of earshot. God knows what kind of ending that would bring up. I didn't want to do it because I was invested and I wanted to see what was going on in the conversation because I wanted to make informed choices. But that is also a perfectly valid option for you as you try and help the 3 generations cope with loss and traumatic family events. So there is a lot to unpack here. I'm really excited is the wrong word, but I am really interested and actually quite invested, even after just this 20-minute section, to see the type of choices and the situations that we're put into for the main game themselves. But this works as a prologue, as a standalone section, because there's an actual end point. There is an objective, and you can either reach that objective or not, and therefore get various different endings depending on the types of conversations that you've had as well. So it works perfectly as a standalone prologue to make you go, how would I have dealt with that situation? But my appetite is whetted for basically being emotionally devastated. And I guess for me, I'm in my mid-30s. I have 2 unwell parents, one particularly unwell, and with the virus that should not be named going around everywhere, I'm hypervigilant. And so these types of experiences where we're dealing with human emotions and all of that kind of stuff really tap into, I think, an underlying fear for me at the moment about how... I try to think of the right way to put it, but I feel like not preparing for the inevitable, because I know it is inevitable that I will lose my parents at some point, but it makes me cherish the moments that I've got more and feel extra protective. So I don't feel like Linda and Joan is going to be like I can't wait for a dry run, but I'm really interested to see someone else's experiences of having to deal with this laid out before me, gamified so that I'm slightly removed, but then I can sit and review a variety of choices and help me choose my own tact for when this becomes my reality too. Perhaps that's morbid, I don't know, but I love things about human emotions and diving deep and seeing what really makes us tick and what can make things better for people and to let people heal. So that interests me. Anyway, enough of my warbling over the top of this. I hope that that was informative and interesting. If this interests you, it's for free, so download it over on Steam. I've also popped a link to the main game, which isn't due out for 2022, but you can wishlist it on Steam as well. And I'll leave you with the rest of my playthrough below. You guys take care. Bye for now.
It's bright out today, but I'm thinking, what if I have to leave? What will become of us if we're only me and you? Will you be there when I'm gone? Could we be just me and you one last time? This is my life, I don't want to go. Will you be okay? We'll miss it when it's gone. Nice day for a walk. What if I had, what if to leave without you?
Is wrong. There is more the interest of the party, more the interest of the country, is it all? Okay, on the road already. As planned, the local elections will again see opportunity to come back to the extension.
Well, it's an opportunity for the people of this country to change the direction of this country, to decide that they do not want a hard Brexit, they want to keep Britain in the single market, and indeed, it's an opportunity for us to have a decent, strong opposition in the